According to the NCAA, approximately 30% of student athletes struggle with mental health. These mental health challenges can often begin before an athlete reaches college. The rate of student athletes who struggle with mental health is increasing and is a major issue within high school athletes. Good morning, my name is Alessandra Hackett, and today I'll be talking about the mental health of student athletes. My research question is, at what point does depression affect high school grades that interfere with the performance of athletes? And my argument is, depression and or other mental health issues do affect high school grades and have a significant impact on the way an athlete performs in their sport. Today I'll be going over some important topics, including the academic performance of student athletes, the athletic performance of student athletes, the future student athletes, and how the timing of depression and or other mental health issues affect all the above. The signs of mental health issues in student athletes include a decline in sports performance, struggling with school, changes in sleep, social isolation, lack of interest, and burnout. According to Avery L. Reich and her colleagues, in a 2016 survey, the National Collegiate Athletic Association, or the NCAA, found that 30% of student athletes experienced chronic stress and felt intractably overwhelmed in the past month. Given that there are approximately 460,000 NCAA students, it can be assumed that approximately 69,000 of those student athletes are struggling with managing their mental and emotional health. The yellow bar represents Gen Z, the blue bar represents millennials, the orange bar represents Gen X, and the gray bar represents baby boomers. As you can see in this image, the rate of Gen Z student athletes that felt mentally exhausted was 44%. The rate of Gen Z student athletes that felt overwhelmed by all that they had to do was 39%. The rate of Gen Z student athletes that felt overwhelming anxiety was 22%. And the rate of Gen Z student athletes that felt very lonely was 19%. These mental health issues can add to more ongoing problems a student athlete is going through. It can further decrease their athletic performance, which can impact their future, and it can further decrease their athletic or academic performance, which can also determine whether or not they can continue playing the sport due to the grade criteria that many sports require in order to continue playing. Coaches have been shown to play a vital role in the athletic performance of the athletes. This can have a major impact on their future and the way they view their sport. An article from Tandem Performance states, good quality coach-athlete relationships matter, not only because they drive better results, but also because they create a social environment within which both the coach and the athlete feel positive, happy, energized, determined, and strong. As you can see, coaches play a role in the performance of student athletes, and if a coach doesn't help improve an athlete, it can have negative impacts on that specific athlete. The timing of depression and or other mental health issues can affect a major event that may be coming up in their life, whether it's sports related, etc. This can create a significant impact on their future. Simone Biles is one example. According to the College Board Stimulus, Simone Biles dropped out of the gymnastics team final due to her struggle with mental health. She states many reasons for why she dropped out, including, I was fighting all these demons and I just don't trust myself as much as I used to. This proves my point that the timing of depression and or other mental health issues affect someone negatively. In some cases, it can impact their future because it can determine what they do for the rest of their lives, depending on if they wanted to choose their sport as a career. This image represents the performance of student athletes struggling with mental health. The dark gray represents mental health and the light gray line represents the performance. As you can see, as the mental health of student athletes goes down, so does their performance. This illustrates the detrimental effects of mental health in student athletes. This image shows a pie chart, that represents the perspective of student athletes that determine if they think mental health affects their academics. 52% strongly agree, 43% agree, and 4% agree nor disagree, showing the effect that mental health has on their academics that can play a role on their future if they want to get into a certain college. 38% of male student athletes struggle with mental health, 22% of female student athletes struggle with mental health. 10% of them seek help. This is not beneficial and can have negative impacts on the student athlete and make their lives more stressful. My limitations include athletes who experience problems with mental health show a decline in athletic and academic performance, and some athletes may drop out of the sport due to the stress. My solutions are, athletes can set scheduled times for the things they need to do to lower the stress, and athletes can get more sleep, eat well, and practice self-care to help reduce mental health issues. Thank you.
All right, two questions for you. First one, My hands at work. First one, how did your research question evolve as you moved your way through the entire process?
My research question evolved because, like at the start, I was going to talk about all athletes as a whole, but then I chose to be more specific and do it about high school students or college athletes.
Okay, and what advice would you give for some other researchers that want to consider this as a topic to do in the future?
I would consider them to find more statistics on how it impacts their future rather than like just put more statistics about it because I couldn't find that much of them.